Hi, my name's Bruce Myron, and I'm going to be your guide through the technical sections of the course. If you've never taken a course in Access, you'll find this one's really quite a bit different. You see, I've made my living for more than 20 years by creating Access databases for businesses and individuals, and much of what I've learned through finding a way to create the modifications and additions my clients are asking for on those databases. So my courses are really based in this real-world experience that I've gone through. Yet after doing it all this time, amazingly, there's still many things about Access that I don't know. I like that and I think you should too, because this tool has such a depth to it that there's always going to be new ways to use what you do know and entirely new things that you can learn about Access. So you're really not going to learn everything about Access in this course. That's really impossible. I've already created 9 courses on Access, and I find there's many things that I just haven't gotten around to talking about yet in any of those courses. In this course, there's two main objectives. The first one is I want you to understand and be comfortable with how Access works. I don't want to introduce a lot of details and confuse, and you'll find that I leave out things that would tend to do that. And I also teach you Access, the components, in a certain, what I found is the most logical way, which I have not found anybody else doing. But my students tell me that this makes a lot of sense. I've had people send me messages and say that they've tried for years to learn Access, and finally it makes sense. So that's the first objective, is to understand and be comfortable with using Access. And the second objective is to be able to radically increase your productivity, to know what to do in common data situations and how to make Access and really your computer do more of the work. I go from business to business, and I'm always finding people doing things with spreadsheets usually, and it takes hours. And not only that, but they do things with their spreadsheets that I call it dead data. It's only the data for that one report or this month's report, and you can't use it for anything else. And so I'll talk to you about those types of things. So the course ought to be a lot of fun. Access really is fun if you're guided through it in the right way and it starts to make sense to you. The Access database that I've got on the screen right now is the downloadable database that comes with the course, and it's got thousands of records of demo data, and also we have finished examples. You might see a couple of things with the word done at the end. Those are finished examples of things that we'll create in the course. So if you have a question or a problem, you can look at what the finished version looks like. And so you can really use the course as a guide to go through this database. And that method has been very successful with thousands of students. So if you have a problem, though, please do send me a message or post a discussion, and I monitor these every single day. Now, before I start on the first objective, on learning about the parts of Access, I want to do something a little bit different. What I want to do is to show you some examples, 3 examples really, of how Access solves some really common problems that I see all the time in businesses. And I wanted to do this because there's a lot of books that talk about what Access does, and they talk about these data problems, but it doesn't really make sense if you can't see it. And so I want you to see visually examples of what these problems are and how Access handles them. So the next 3 lectures, the rest of this section that we're in right now, I don't want you to try and take notes or anything. Don't learn the terms or anything, because we're going to start with the basics in the following section. I just want you to take these 3 lectures one by one and just watch and just relax. And you don't have to, if you don't know some of the terms or some of the things, that's not important. What I want you to realize is what is going on, the problem that's being solved, and I'll explain that in each one of those 3 lectures. So I think that'll give you a real sense of power that you will have personally for the rest of your life once you learn Access. There are things I used to do that would take hours that now take just a minute, and so you will have a sense of power over your data. And so I think that that sense of excitement will carry into the next lecture, and go through all the lectures, and you will be successful. So I'll get started on the first data problem in the next lecture. I'll see you then.